Happy to have you, my guy.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. Had to bring you on, man. I mean, I've been a fan of your work since a kid, man. Watching one on one.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I dig what you do, man. It's legit.
Appreciate that, man. I mean, that means a lot coming from you. But I was doing some research, man, and I had no idea that you played basketball.
Oh yeah, I played ball, man. That was my first love. That's what I thought I was going to the league. You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was going to the league, coming up in New York, and playing everywhere. I remember when I came to LA doing all the celebrity games. Magic Johnson used to have a game called Midsummer Night's Magic. He'd have a celebrity game, then he'd have the pros. And I mean, it was so dope. I played in the NBA Entertainment League, sponsored league. It I had fun. I love ball. I love ball. I used to get up and bang on them. But that was a long time ago. My hops have long since gone. What was the movie I did? The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison. That was me. I was like, y'all ain't got to bring the rim down, nothing. I was going up, bang. We kept doing it over and over and over again. I was like, let's go. But yeah, man, and the crazy thing is all the basketball movies that came out, like all the basketball movies that came out, I never got in them. Like White Man Can't Jump, I auditioned for like all of them, and it was almost like they never hired real ballers. Like not just that movie, but there were several basketball movies that came out, and I'm like, yo, I can act and play ball. Like, what's the deal? But it just never happened. It never made sense to me. But it is what it is. That's how it goes.
You auditioned for White Man Can't Jump?
Man, White Man Can't Jump. I auditioned for. Obviously, the Six Man audition and got that. Um, oh my gosh, there was quite a few. Above the Rim. Uh, yeah, there were quite a few of them joints. Because remember back then we had a lot of those basketball movies coming out. It was a lot, and I auditioned for a few, but then some of them I never got a chance to. But I'm like, it is what it is. But all I know is I could really ball. So.
What role did you audition for in White Man Can't Jump?
I auditioned for the role that Dwayne Martin ended up, my boy Shake got. He was tapped in though, but he played. I think he was drafted or to the Knicks. Like he played. So Ron Shelton, they had. He used to come up to the Hollywood Y all the time, where everybody was. We were all up there playing ball. I mean, Denzel used to be up there, and but I just gotta say, he got caught. I had to catch a victim, and it had to be Denzel. I banged it on him. He caught me like this. He was holding me up in the air like this. I banged that joint, and he had to let me down. And I'll never forget that. I will never forget that, man. I took off on Denzel. He was like, all right, I see you. You dunked on me. It's all right.
What role in Above the Rim you auditioned for?
Above the Rim. It was the role that Marlon did, and there was another role, Wood Harris, the one that Wood Harris uh, auditioned for. So but that's how it was. Everybody's reading for stuff. What I mean, you never know where it's gonna go. So you just get in, read, ask you, can you play ball? Some of them you get to actually audition playing ball so they could see it, but a lot of the ones you just would read for. So yeah.
And speaking of Above the Rim, you had a scene in Juice, right?
So with Juice, right? I I mean, I transitioned from dancing into which I'll go into that, but um, I transitioned into stand up comedy. So I'm performing at the Uptown Comedy Club, and Jackie Brown, well now Jackie Brown Carmen, casting director, Gerald Brown, producer, and Ernest Dickerson, writer, producer, director of Juice. Um, I'm not sure if all of them were there or a couple of them were there, but they saw me doing stand up. So they came to me afterwards and said, "Hey, we got this. They were like, we got this little movie, Juice. We doing. We want you to come read." So my manager was there, and he came over, spoke to them, and then I auditioned, and I auditioned like it was they pulled everybody, like they pulled everybody in. It was so many people, and I made it down to the final cut. But like before that, we got to meet everybody, and Pac was super cool. We be outside laughing, joking, whatever, and just having fun. Omar Epps, my boy Omar. It was fun, and then we got down to the last grouping where they picked two people for each character. So it was between me and Omar for the role of Q, Pac, and there was another brother. I forget his name, but he was in the bar where EPMD was in there, and he was robbing the bar. And he was like, "Take off your clothes, cause you look good." He was reading for Bishop. It was another friend and comedian of mine named Corwin Moore, who was reading for the role that plays Steele, Jermaine Hopkins. So they mixed and matched, so we going back and forth, going in, going out. And I remember, I think back to it, and I'm like, okay, I remember when I kind of like I knew I was gonna get this role because it was new to me. You know what I mean? It was new to me. Acting was new to me. I was primarily a stand-up. So we're doing the scene. Now, all this time I had been reading with the casting director. So now we start reading with each other in the room while they watching. So I'm in there. Now we're doing the scene when Q is at the locker, and he's blowing the dust off his books, and he closes the locker, and then Pac is like right there. So we doing that scene. So I'm in there, I'm acting like I'm in the locker, I close it. So Pac comes up. Now mind you, we were just out in the hall laughing, joking. Pac comes in, and he smacks me on the ass like, "Pop, what's up, partner?" And I turn around and I start laughing. So, because I'm still carrying over from outside. I'm laughing. I'm like, oh. And he was locked in. He was Bishop. He was locked in. And, and I remember it throwing me off because I'm like, yo, we was just out there laughing. Like, what happened? And he was just locked in. We did it. I kind of had to reset and do it. And I think that was, a lot of inexperience on my part. And and Omar was great. Omar's always solid. So it was, they made the decision. I didn't get it, and I remember because that was really the first thing film wise I had ever been asked to read for or anything, and I knew it was going to be like a hood classic, but it grew beyond that, and I was so upset when I didn't get it. I was still I was still dancing for Salt and Pepper. So I called up Cheryl Salt, and I was like, yo, every movie they called me, I didn't get it. I'm crying. And she was like, yo, don't worry about it, bro. You're going to be all right. Don't worry about it. So even after that, I still kept dancing and just doing my stand up. But the great thing about that is I got to meet, a bunch of great people. Khalil Kane as well. Forgot him as well. Got to just meet some people that we're still friends to this day. Still know them to this day. They had the anniversary. I don't know if it was the 30 year. I can't remember of Juice, and they did a screening out here in LA, and I went to the screening, and I got to see Ernest Dickerson, Jermaine Hopkins, Khalil, a bunch of them. So it's always good, and they liked me, so they ended up giving me a little role in there, a little banter with Latifah, and I remember Latifah, she, I knew her already, and she knew I was a comedian. She was like, all right, you ain't gonna be making me look stupid. I'm like, nah. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna say. We're gonna do it like this, boom, boom, boom. She's like, all right, bet. And we did that, came out, she said what she said, and I just teed it up for her. And then, yeah, the rest is history, man. And that little scene, carried over, man. It's crazy. You would think I was in the movie, the way that scene has carried all of these years. And yeah, kept in touch with people after that, Pac as well too.
Yeah, that was a funny ass scene, man. Her saying that your demo was what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Outside that movie, did you personally know Pop?
Yeah, we man, we kept in touch. I was seeing when I was in LA, when I saw him, and Pop was always cool, man. I gotta say that. And And when everything happened, I would see him in New York. There's a spot we used to go to. Me and my brother Ty, we used to go to this place called Chaz and Wilson's, and they had live music. Ron Grant, rest in peace. Everybody was up in there. Everybody, and uh, we kept in touch, and then when he ended up that situation and he was in jail, I remember I wrote him. I found out, I got the information. I wrote him. I didn't think he was gonna remember me, but he wrote me back, man. And I'm so mad because I when I moved from Brooklyn, all my stuff got lost in transit, and I lost that letter, So I'm so mad about that. But Pac was cool. He was always cool when I saw him. And I remember this was around the time that things was heating up with this East Coast, West Coast, and we're at the Shrine Auditorium, and he's standing behind me, and Suge is next to him. So Pac got on the fatigue with the gloves cut off. He's standing there, he's just looking around. So me and my cousin Grapevine, we standing right here, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because I know, what's happening. So I'm like, do I say something? Do I? And I look again, and he was like, what's up, man? He said, you ain't gonna say nothing? I was like, yo, my bad, man. I didn't know what the temperature was. He was like, man, you ain't got nothing to do with that shit, man. He's like, what's up, man? You good? I was like, I'm good, man. He said, hey, it's good to see you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I said, definitely, man. And then from the corner of his eye, Biggie and them had came out, and the whole crew, and he beelined over there. Him and Suge, they went pew. So when you see the movie, the Tupac movie, and Notorious, and the Biggie movie, the Biggie movie, and you see the other one, All Eyes on Me, when he steps outside and they going at foot. That really happened inside when he had the fatigues on. That really happened like right inside back there. Big's mom was there too. Like it was crazy. So me and my cousin, we went the other way. We stood over there for a minute. We heard him going back and forth, and then I was like, yeah, we out. And then unfortunately, what happened. But he was a good brother, man. He was a good brother. I really dug Pac. He was always cool, and I'm so mad that I lost that letter. He was happy that I wrote him because it was early on. This was like before, everybody started to come see him. I just was like, I said, man, I don't know if you're gonna remember, Juice. That he was like, man, come on. He wrote back, and he just said he was trying to stay strong, and that's it, But I can at least have that memory of that happening.
So you saw that in real time, Pac confronting Big at the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah. And he had on the fatigues, yeah, and he had on fatigue, yeah. It was a real thing, but it was inside. It was backstage of the Shrine. It was in that area, yeah. Because Biggie got off the stage, and then it was like they just converged. I was like, oh my God, please not here, man, not here.
That's crazy, man. And Diddy, he was there too, right?
Yeah, no, he was there. Yeah, no, he was definitely there. Yeah, I listen. I saw them, I saw them earlier, said what's up, and I just kept it moving, you know what I mean? Because you didn't know what the powder keg was gonna be, you know what I mean? Obviously, we didn't know it was gonna go to where it went, but you just didn't want to be there, whatever it was gonna end up being, you know what I'm saying? So I just saw them and I bounced.